Okay everyone, in this video I want to share to all of you about my opinion from this design inspiration, which is the dark yellow vintage tiny home from AI generated, and I will show you some of this tiny home design. It's have several design that you can see, and you can see about the uniqueness and inspiration from every single design that I show you in this video. Okay, let's watch. I'm very impressed with this yellow color design of this tiny home, with the extraordinary design, I mean, for the first design. And I get some inspiration about the roof ideas, which is it get skylight roof on the top, on above the window on the near of the entrance. And anyway, this tiny home has one entrance on the side of this tiny home on the white area, and I mean it's proper for the cold zone or cold weather, I mean. And we can see for the next design just like this, and I get some simple but classic design of this tiny home. And I like about the roof improvement, which is this design contain passive circulation on the top of the roof with the skylight and top hung window, I mean. Or maybe it's just a slide window, as we can see from the outside on this design. And anyway, this tiny home can move from to another place because of this tiny home has wheels on above as a base construction. And we can see for the next design, and I mean it seems look like a simple house or landed house, but the uniqueness of this tiny home is could be movable to the another place also. And we can see it has small space on the entrance, that which is it could be relaxation space, even if it just small of just a little bit space on the front of the entrance. But we can see about the valuable space, as we can see from the outside. And I mean this tiny home is very inspired for me from this AI generated design. And we can see for the another design on this video. And as we can look from this design, it has a unique roof configuration with plain with simple roof, or tropical roof, I mean, with double orientation with right left and front back orientation of this tropical roof, I mean. And the uniqueness of this design, it has some little bit space for the outside, and it has a railing, as we can look from the outside. And then for the next design, I think it's compact but tropical design. We can see about the compactness from the design. Beside of the space look like it's just a small house anyway. Then we can see about the roof improvement and roof design, that which is called effect with the exterior or amazing design of this tiny home. And we can see for the skylight or boven light on the left side of the entrance. Anyway, this has one entrance as usual. And we can look for the simplicity of this house. And then for the next design, this is I mean it's so gorgeous, but it's still cool with main roof. I mean the main roof is very iconic with some additional roof on the right side. I mean it has a double entrance on the front and on the side, and on the front and on the side area. It has a double entrance with the first entrance with a double door, and the second entrance on the side is with using a single door. As we can look from the outside, it's very impressful. Then we can see from this design, I think it's seems like a boxy or simple box design of this tiny home with just single inclination of the roof, as we can see from the outside. And we can see about the entrance with some stair step right there. It's proper for the weather zone, proper for the cold weather zone, such as a snowy zone, just like this, because of the elevation from the ground, from the outside on the ground. It's very, high enough. And for the next, for the next design, I was impressed, and it gave me inspiration about the simple design, but it still have a uniqueness with improvement and arrangement roof on the top, as we can see with semi-plain roof, as we can see. And it has a skylight on the interception, on the two side inclination of the roof, as we can see. And it was a great idea because of this design could be easily to build. It is my opinion. If you have some opinion of this design, you can type on the comment column below, and we can see for the next. Okay, this is a very historical. It's feel historical vibes of this tiny home because bring the uh, bring the history from the such as a movie, from the movie. And I like the inclination. I like the inclination of the roof itself, and it has a uniqueness with the entrance on the small white on this tiny home with a one entrance, and it has a hanging plant on the front, and it make a more beautiful. And okay, we can see from this design. This design has one entrance on the wider side, on the right side, as we can see, and it has a skylight on the loft bed area. Maybe it has a loft bed area on the inside because it has some boven light or skylight, and it has storage, open storage on the front of the window, as we can see. It has some lock storage, which is it could be uh, make for fireplace activation anyway. Then we can look for these vibes. Okay, we can move for these vibes. I like this vibe because of the environment, but not only in the environment. This roof design and the envelopes and the amazing design of this tiny home is it was impressful, and it was inspired for the designer like me because of the variation of the roof. It could make a high high value of this tiny home. It's not only just ordinary tiny home, but it have special characteristic. It has a special characteristic of the roof, as we can see, because this roof design is timeless for me, and I like it, and I'm very like it. And we can see for the we can see for the dark mode. It's dark mode on this tiny home vibes on the roof, as we can see. And it's dramatically vibes with a simple tiny home design on simple tiny home design on a roof. Because of the roof, it has skylight, as we can see from the outside right now. And then it has one entrance on the front. We can see one entrance on the front with several steps, and it has a few space of the leisure area, so it could be a relaxed place. Okay, then we just still on the uh, dark mode or cloudy vibes on this tiny home environment, but this tiny home environment has uniqueness for the facade area and we can see about the uh, improvisation. We can see about the improvisation on the right side. On the right side of the window, we can get some iconic exterior on the black area, on the black facade area. I mean, and then for the another design, I mean, it was a grid design on the snowy zone or snowy area or snowy place of this tiny home with a unique shape, simple, and it has little bit uh, relaxation place on the front, especially on the front of the entrance door, which is, I mean, it was a sliding entrance door, so it could be make it the uh, vibes of this tiny home could be modern. I mean, it's timeless but modern vibes of this tiny home because of some elements such as slide window and of the roof design. Okay, and um, it was a dramatically vibes of this tiny home, but it so artistic. It's so artistic, not only just home, but it could be. I mean, in my opinion, it's just monumental. It's just monumental vibes of this tiny home, and uh, it. I mean, it's best of photograph. I mean, this is just great photograph of this tiny home with lonely vibes and with a calm environment, and the user could be relaxed on the both indoor and outdoor space of this tiny home if the user need relaxation place, I mean. And we can see for the another design again. I mean, it was simple, but it seems like a homey tiny home. It's like homey tiny home because of its similar with the tiny home. It's similar vibes with a landed house. I mean, it's a similar vibe with a landed house, which is it has just a little bit space on the front, and the user could make take a relax and a privacy take a privacy activity on the indoor and outdoor space, I mean. And okay, this is about the snowy area of this tiny home, which is I mean, it is a semi-large tiny home because of the size. I mean, it's a little bit more, has a lot of space with loft bed, and I predict that this design alternative has a loft bed inside because of the user needs, and then the user consider about the capacity and the size of this tiny home itself before he decide to prefer this large space or massive tiny home, and it has a high privacy, I mean, because of the openings. And then this tiny home, it has a lot of needs also, but the user make the tiny home it's longer than the usual because of the space is maybe the user think about the consideration about the making the loft bed, and then the user make the maybe the user just also make the loft bed, but the user make the uh, enlarged space with the horizontal concept, okay, because of the mobility maybe or activity consideration, I mean, it my opinion. and then we can look for the another design. I mean, it's was iconic tiny home. I mean, it's just an iconic tiny home with a simple boxy tiny home, but not poor. It's not boring design because of the improvisation of the roof. Even if it's just a flat roof, but I mean, the inspiration comes from the inclination for the small roof, as we can see from the outside, and it just using a simple ornamental on the opening, such as a door, window, or upper window or boven light. And I mean, it was iconic, simple, and it's not make boring, and it was great. It was great complexity of the tiny home. I mean, it was a great complexity of the tiny home because of this inspiration comes from the tiny home whole design and the roof improvisation. And I mean the user which like this is about the consideration of the loft bed space on the outside, and I think it was great. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope it will be a lot of benefit to all of you, and it will be an inspiration to all of you. And just wait for my next video. Thank you.